a root. That kind of tree could never bear no fruit, Mama Africa. Before we dance abroad, we got to learn to dance a yard. Divide and rule could only tear us apart. The time has come for I and night to I night. Hakuna Matata, make we stop all the fight. Been through the struggle and washed down the drain. So much agony and so much pain. Oh, children sing
Yenarayeti,
Mama Africa,
Yenarayeti, Africa, Yenarayeti.
Yes, we bringing you the legal matters.
Yo, as a people, we want to leave them.
Today we're gonna be talking about visitors application and the funny reasons that are being used to refuse people.
Caught in a butchery. Mama was raped like a
Because of this, Home Office have been accused of racism,
boomaya, chase them up.
whereby people believe that there is a lot of racism going on in decision makings when it comes to visitors application.
Blasphemy. Them desecrated the holy lands at Timbuktu, Lalibela, Duri, Gaga, Gaga, Duri. Chase them out of Duri, Gaga, Gaga, Duri, Duri, Gaga, Gaga, Duri, Duri, Gaga, Gaga, Duri.
Yenarayeti,
Mama Africa,
Yenarayeti, Africa, Yenarayeti.
And this was reported in the Guardian newspapers in the UK.
Yo, Rasta, now they're back again. Anchor, Missy Wangwano.
This was published on Friday, the 6th of July 2018.
We sit on diamond, yet we go through pain. Dirty Chinese.
The Guardian newspaper did an investigation where people have accused the Royal Home Office of playing the race card when it comes to decision makings, especially in relation to visitors application in the UK. Today we are going to look at it and look at some of the reasons that has been given by the Home Office to justify refusal of visitors application in the UK.
Sugar cane, no wonder now the churches in Africa sing Chinese hymns and higher octave.
Very, very important that we understand this. Very important that we look at this area. And when you make an application and it is refused, what are your rights? What is it that you can do? Can you challenge it? Especially if you've been given no right of appeal.
Hey.
It's catch-22 situation. See, the best that we can do today,
Mama Africa,
if you have invited someone, the application has been refused, you have been given no right of appeal, what can you do?
from Bella Bella to Lalibela,
Oh yeah,
Zimbabwe to sweet Zambezi.
Oh yeah,
Can't forget about you, Equatorial.
Yes, this is reggae tune from Black Rasta. If you are watching this program, share the program with all your loved ones. Today, we're going to be taking our time and go through visitors application. If it is refused, what is it that you can do? There has been a lot of cases in this area that even practitioners, it baffles us. You know, some of the decisions, you look at it and you start thinking, how can this be possible? How can they make such a decision? You know, the reasons that sometimes are given to you and I, one will argue, is frivolous. Some of the reasons are very, very strange. Some of the reasons cannot be justified in law. If you are in this situation, what is it that you can do? Is you've been given no right of appeal? Is there something that you can do? If you believe that decision cannot be justified, is so wrong, you believe that it is so wrong that something needs to be done. I'm going to take my time today. Some of these cases have, in fact, it has happened to some of my clients, and I did advise them that let's hold on. I need to investigate this further, and so that we can see what we can do. Because I am someone that I don't want to rush into things. Whenever something happens, I prefer taking my time, think about it, and then look for the best way forward. Those people calling us on our landline, unfortunately, we are on air and therefore we will not be able to answer it. So I have to give a message to say, sorry, we cannot answer your call, and that we will call back. So I do apologize if you call me and you're unable to get me. Sometimes, that is the way it is. You cannot do 3 things at the same time, and it will not be appropriate for me to answer the phone call and possibly, everything that we say will be going out. So thank you very much. All those people who have joined us, I beg you, please share the program with all your loved ones. Just put it on your Facebook wall so that people can also benefit from it. For me, I have subscribed to Fire Life TV, but for some reason, I don't get it on my wall straight away. Every time I have to go to my wall and then share it and keep sharing it. So by all means, if you've got it, you can also share it to all your loved ones so that they can also benefit from today's program. As we all know, visitors application affect everyone. It does affect everyone, and it does affect everyone, and therefore is applicable to everyone, regardless of your stay, regardless of where you are, and regardless of your status. At some point in your life, you may want to invite either your mother, your sister, your friends, you name it. You may want to invite them to come to the UK. As we all know, since 2013, there has been a lot of changes, in terms of UK immigration law, and also the abolition of the right of appeal for visitors application. Because of that, Home Office, they have got so much discretionary powers. You can tick all the boxes, and still, they will come back to say that, but I don't believe you. So it's not a matter of law. It's a matter of the individual caseworker simply using discretion to say that I don't believe you, and they will not give you the right of appeal. When it happens like that, you ask yourself, what is it that I need to do? Sometimes people ask me this question and I cannot give an answer because your circumstances will determine what you should do. Some, for example, may invite a friend, a family member to come and visit for a period of time for a specific occasion. The application gets rejected. By the time that the application gets rejected, the occasion, the date, the time is far gone. In this case, if you say you are going to appeal, even though you don't have the right of appeal, or you are going to go for judicial review, or you are going to go for administrative review, or to reapply, it will not serve any purpose because the reason why you wanted to come to the UK, that reason or the purpose has already lapsed. And in this instance, if you go to try to submit another application, you cannot call the time back, and therefore the application is going to be rejected. So sometimes whether someone should appeal, whether someone should go for judicial review, whether someone should reapply will determine each individual case. That will tell you what you need to do, what will be the right thing for you to do. I have had clients, and in their cases, I've told them to wait because the reason for coming, unfortunately, by the time that you go through the process of going through the judicial review, serving pre-action protocol letter, going through the judicial review, the occasion would have come and gone. And therefore, in those instances, it will make no sense to try to basically to go through the long process of judicial review. And in some cases, it may well be that the individual will have to apply to come back in again. So the advice that I will give to Nana Kofi Tontin Heath, I will not give the same advice to Nana Adomako in Romford. So there will be two different things. So it's very, very important when it comes to the law, especially immigration and nationality. You don't compare yourself to anyone. Because many a times you hear people saying that, oh, but my friend did this, my friend did that. Even this week, I had someone challenging me. You know, this business about people sending this fake WhatsApp around, telling people that if you have 2.5 years visa, I can convert it to indefinite leave to remain. You know, it's just ridiculous. You know, I was telling someone who came to see me, and I'm telling the person that, look, this is not possible. Legally, it is impossible. And he's telling me that, but his friend have a different lawyer, and his friend has told him that the lawyer has done it for her.
You should go to that lawyer.
And I said, well, it's very simple. Have you seen it with your own eyes? The answer was no. Have you spoken to the lawyer? He said, yeah, I've spoken to the lawyer. And I said, and then it's very simple. Either you take the advice I've given you, which I think is the best advice, and is the right advice, or you go to that lawyer for that lawyer to do it for you. But I can guarantee you, you're going to come here within a year and you're going to complain that someone is taking your money. The person promised you heaven, the person was unable to deliver you hell. Because it is not legally possible. And therefore, sometimes we should not, you know, build this unrealistic sort of scenario or unrealistic case. And then you go, someone take your money and you say lawyers are crooks, lawyers are this, lawyers are that. In order for someone to become a crook, you have to play a part. There are some people who may be innocent in this. But if you've been told the truth, you don't want to know the truth. So fire, I go burn you. That is the reality. You know, because at the end of the day, say yes, soon as I went here, Emma or one etuko, and I said, yes, unma atopembua. Wasel uni untimi atopan seno cause on the wo ba ma be ware ne ba no na unsa abrewa nam ho a osi awiakete kwati oni bi da enti no e very very important as a sadema we have to be realistic.
DJ positive.
You know, we have to be realistic. Sebio ot me mete ho lawyer da komba mo ho na sem ka sem botomo e fa me nam nim de hyemo sa so ni friend so beto bo abowa oni nenim de ne na asiso entina. It is the reality. Say you can't create your nasa went here, you go somewhere, they're gonna rip you off. But I believe that when you work, you have to be do it with dignity, honesty. If I can do it, I will tell you. If I cannot do it, I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm not going to build false hopes into your mind, thinking that it's possible to convert 2.5 years visa straight away. You go for indefinite leave to remain. It's not gonna happen. It's not the case. Yesi coach ya mansa se otun suoma ne ho na efo na ne ho nsesanye de e wo hoda. The truth is the truth. You cannot change the truth. Lies do change, but honesty, integrity, and truthfulness, it doesn't change, because you cannot change facts. A fact is a fact. So it's very, very important, my dear sister. I am advising you, if you are listening, don't go and throw your money away, unless, of course, you want to throw it away. That one, no one can force you not to throw your money away. It's your money. Whatever you want to do with it, you make that decision. And I believe by saying this, it will help a lot of our dear listeners and our dear countrymen as well. Because this WhatsApp is in circulation and people are still sending it to people that there is a new law. Unless, Lawyer Darko, I'm blind. Please, can someone show me where the law is so that I can also go and find it? Because when people say there is a new law, simply just don't take it that there's a new law and that's it.
Where is the law?
Where is the law? You have to be able to pinpoint us to the law. Because as far as I'm aware, there is no law of this land that says that if you have been granted 2.5 years and it comes to extension, they can grant you indefinite leave to remain. It doesn't work that way. So we have to be very, very careful. There are people out there who will be able to, who are prepared to rip you into pieces If you want to become part of the statistics, then it's up to you. But please be very careful, because there are so many people out there who claim to be lawyers, and in fact, they are not. I can sit here without having been called to the Law Society roles of solicitors or the barristers roles. Some people just finish their law degree, which is LLB, and they claim that they are lawyers. Some people are doing their training contract. They have not yet qualified, but we call them lawyers. Some people work in a law firm, and straight away we jump that they are lawyers. Please, you have to be very careful. In order to call someone a lawyer, make sure that the person is holding lawyer's practicing certificate. Even if you are a lawyer and you are not practicing, the rules tells us that even when you refer to yourself as a lawyer, you have to put it non-practicing.
Yes.
You have to make it very, very clear. But unfortunately, within our communities, people thrive on reputation. Even if they are not, they crave to be something that they are not. So one have to be very careful, and one have to apply wisdom. Because if you don't apply wisdom, people are going to take you for a ride. They're going to take your hard-earned cash. After that, you call me Lawyer Darkon, there's nothing that I'll be able to do about it. So please, it's very, very important that from the outset, we sort of, take precaution. We have to be very, very careful. Because if you are not, someone will simply going to use about 10 minutes of his time to basically to dupe you for about 8 months' wages that you have saved in order to do something for yourself and also for your family. So it's very, very important. I will keep repeating this, that we exercise caution, that we are very, very careful, because at the end of the day, if you are not, someone will use, any means to get your money. And hence, important that we take good care, and also important that we do the right stuff. That aside, let's go to the main topic today. So much has happened. Hopefully, I will get the time to go through. So much has happened. As we know, since 2013, there has been a lot of changes in immigration and nationality law. In fact, before 2012, if you invite a visitor, your family members, to come to the UK to join to visit you, if the application is refused, you will have the right of appeal. And as we know, we've said this before on this machine, that the number of people who are winning their appeals against the Home Office refusal are so much in terms of proportionate, in terms of percentage. The government believed that it was costing them money, and therefore some measures were taken, and a decision was made that a policy have to come forward that will prevent certain applications becoming appealable. And some of these decisions affect visitors' application. As we all know, we come to this country. Sometimes circumstances leads to other circumstances. We find ourselves living in this country. We find ourselves not going back. We find ourselves obtaining papers to stay in this country. People meet, we form relationships, and then we have family together. At some point, we may want our mother, our sister, to come to the UK and visit us. Sometimes there's death in the family. Sometimes there is a child in the family. Sometimes there's a graduation in the family. Sometimes there is a family occasion that we want to invite our brothers, our sisters, our nieces, mothers, uncles, you name it, to come to the UK. To what? To come and celebrate this special occasion with us. However, there has been speculation. I don't have any evidence to prove it, so don't quote me on this. However, I will implore you to go and read the Guardian newspaper on the 6th of July 2018, where allegation has been leveled against the Home Office that there is a fundamental discriminatory practices against Africans when it comes to visitors application. The allegations that has been made goes on to say that in some cases, and in fact some lawyers even came forward, they interviewed some lawyers, and from their experience what they say is that there is a deep underlying racism when it comes to decision makings. The Guardian has learned of at least a dozen recent cases as of 2018 where applicants from African countries, the sub-Indian continent, Cuba, Vietnam, Fiji, and Thailand have been refused visitors' visa for frivolous or inaccurate reasons. They went on to say that some of the reasons that were given were ridiculous, and those reasons were propagated by the hostile environment policy that Theresa May came up with from 2012-2013. As at now, if you have invited someone and it has been refused, some of the reasons that have been given, sometimes you sit there and you say, what? This is unbelievable. As I speak to you, I have done a case. In fact, there was no reason why the application should be refused, because the person had a bit of immigration history. In this application, we took our time to address all those concerns from the person's immigration history, and we presented the case in the best possible way that we could. And listen to the reasons for the refusal. It's unbelievable. The Secretary of State, or the person acting on behalf of the Secretary of State, in short, I have listened to everything that you have to say, but I don't believe that your personal circumstances in Ghana is as such as it has been portrayed. The caseworker was not able to pinpoint to any evidence that was submitted that would have made him or her to come to that conclusion.
But I don't believe.
Simple as that. So in effect, I don't believe you, I'm not going to give it to you. Hey, there is no legal basis for the justification of I'm not going to give it to you.
It's about feelings. It's
This
what
is
I
how
feel.
Hey! So because of this, that these allegations has been labeled, because it's very unlikely that if someone is coming from Australia, Canada, Japan, these countries, that these frivolous reasons can be given to justify refusal of these type of applications. Now the question is, if these sort of reasons are given to refuse your application, the sad thing about this type of application is that you don't have automatic right of appeal.
Hey,
So they refuse your application. I don't believe you is the reason for refusing the application. The question is, how do you get an entry clearance officer to believe you? Because it's all down to intention. Intention is very subjective. Intention is only in the mind of the beholder of the brain. Positive as you sit here, how can I know your intentions?
You can.
Even if you tell me that this is your intention, how do I know it is the truth?
there's the truth. We've tried to no crampona and yes, sir.
You see, so it's very, very difficult to address this type of allegations. That I don't believe you. I don't think that the evidence that you have provided is your circumstances in your home country as you have presented. So how do you know the person's circumstances apart from what the person is telling you? So it's very, very challenging, and it's very, very disturbing, and it seems like it's ongoing and ongoing. This week I had a sister from Peterborough. She invited a family to come in, and the application has been refused. She sent the refusal letter to me for me to have a look, and there is no legal basis for the refusal. And as a lawyer, all that I can do is to advise. And whatever the client decide to do, my job is to do the best that I can and correct the mistake that they have done. Not only that, I've also got a case in front of me, very similar situation, that everything was addressed, but yet they still came back with frivolous excuse just to say that, well, I don't believe you, basically. And therefore, when it happens like that, what are your what do you call it? What is it that you can do to remedy the situation? That is the topic for today. We are going to be talking about this. We are going to look at, what can be done to address some of these problems. And also, we will activate the telephone lines. If you have experienced this, by all means, you can also call in, share your experience with us. If you have been able to resolve it, by all means, you can also tell us how you were able to resolve it. Because, this is not only about legal matters. Sometimes you also need your input. Because as a lawyer, I also learn from my clients every single day. Because I don't know it all.
Yeah.
We all learn from each other.
Absolutely.
And sometimes by listening to people, you also learn a lot, from people's experiences. So,
but lawyer, can I ask a question?
Sure, fire away.
When clients cannot have the right to appeal, it means that the Home Office can make decision where nobody can appeal.
Basically, they can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want.
Knowing that you cannot appeal.
Yes.
And therefore, there has been allegation that this has led to bad decision makings because there is no consequences for their actions.
Yes.
They just refuse you, they take your money, and there's nothing that you can
do.
Yo, lawyer Dako, me room kakra lawyer topic na wo ye no me ni se o chance no wani kan amfani ma bi antudwa because na afofofo so etie adwumadie yekromofo no Ghana fo na sisi ya Nigerians so amanfo bebre almost no sebio potokasa mu no omonte ye kasa no enti ne ba ne sa obi wo ho a se ofi Congo, Zimbabwe, Sierra Leone afi na ye kasa na ono to so no onimu de obeye enti na lawyer Dako e de kasa ne kopoto kasa mu no enti ya etiefo ebinum wo ho a ya moma se be ye ngena no sibone e na obi a oye Ghana ni na dwumadi afi de sisia no wasesa ne techirema e na ode ko na ye so no ade no be kokora no se twi na se ko ne ye ka ye sere mu pi dwumadi no nipa bebre etie e na sebio nyansa ni ba ko fu tirimu adisua so de etu ntwada enti no positive me leti he brofo no mentini bebre so kakra ne no lawyer edi tudwa no o kan bibi fa se ebia wato ensafere obi ana se ensrahwe se wo de bakuru mu ha efikasie mufo etomre bi wo ho a omo ye den omo mfa sa ensrahwe no asetena no emma obi a woto nsafere no obi wo ho a otikurum ha ebia ne ba anase obusuani na damfo ebia anase bi opese ofre obi ebi kwana anase bi krum ha no obi akanchene anase bi a oduma nkoma wu a ono de omo nkaye obi wo ho anase se kana busuani bi ne maame anase ne wofa bi obi kura timi ba ebehwe fumu no keke ansa kura na kede na hyefom na eso no efikasi mufo omote ho a ho no nyafe na abekoye hiri baba se obi kiki omo mayo madwen se no se eye ensrahwe application a obeye de eye discretion keke na omo be de omo be decide omo nhwe se bia application na wafele no ebia wo kwadwumensa o watetena okurum ha na ebia me ye adwuma wa ha ebia me wo faase bi ebia ne maame eti kurum ha anase wawu anase bia oyare anakra se me pese me mane ba no behwe kurum ha sei na bia ye fe landing bridges falling down anase ebia ba bia kurum na he a wuni me ye fe ena nsrahwe so to nsafro bia esese wunya bibi potin enti onipa no oye den oba na onipa no aye den aba abehwe enti sa nyina so nyina no betima nya ni nyina de ade kode potinti ese so onipa ne ba ne eto so biem onipa ne kora na woto nsafre no ebia oye adwuma wo fie ebia owodan ebia owasase bi ebia odimu ewo abusuani mu nanso so no ode niam we nyina abekọ nanso so efficacy mu fo beka say waka de o kan de ya tepa nanso so ye nyeden ye mfa eno na Guardians eye newspaper akọ wurawura mu a hunu say niema na ekoso no sabiu baabi wo wa entwa yie akoye te say racist kakra ye den abamu efisi say wo hwe sa visa application eye ensrahwe na visa no yemu ahodo bebre enti na obi wo ho a obeka se wo ye de ensrahwe ma obi no oba eno no nkyese yama na setena eno no yese bia oba bedi bosumi nsia obedi bosumi miensa obedi afi esoso na ye nsrahwe na eno no na sa newspaper Guardian we awurawura mu to the sense o makọ aloyafo ni bi ho bebre etietu manum asem sa eba sa application a utimi hu say eniema wa submit ni nyina no etwam edimu na asoso no onipa na ebia wafa wasem na odi no esese kode asetena no anase ensrahwe ni manipa no oni bibia ye nyina so esese kase bio ensese wode sa ensrahwe asetena ne dem onipa no wa ye den no wa gina so no wa refuse no obisa no so a oni mu aye bia ena omuwurawura mu hu say eye afi 2012 up to 2013 satem na ye maame na was Brexit means Brexit and then satem na ono no owo efficacy ma no ye home secretary or the marabi by enti utimu se eniema na omo hihye ye no na chese utimu se atimoden ewo mu se obi wo ho a wato nsa afre wo bi na nya se wode ache ne soso okotue sika na o mafa wo sika onipa no soso a ade ekode potinti a ade nti na mo mpese me maame ba besera me ebia na wawo awo na wawo no soso ebia wo hia maame ya na se wo hia obi ama na so obamu kakra na kase bio wo so watime ahin ha ho obi wo ho a wawo soso no obi ma bi ni ne ho oye adwuma mu a esoso no anajo akwala be so ha no enti ka me maame kura me so ni mu na me papa bia na se me nua bi obi mtimi mra obeye bibia mefa ne ho ka nyina esoso no mo de omo ti o musika ni wi a ka mu se visitors visa na soso no enye free omo ti sika no omo ti wi so omo se yemfa ma enti no we any ade aloyada ko ene obo hu dawuru se bia wa application ni bi ana se bi kura na obi akoye bi ebi onipa no koye ye no ya mfa ma no sebi ono kro ye okasamafo ye okukudamo ya je na tu mu ho okrum ase sebi ye tu anamo ya momi enye afutu sem ne nya hwe ye kakra obu wo ho asebi social media doso enti obu wo ho a obetena so a obu wo ho asebi aban ne nyeni ntum okrum ha eso so ye lawyer obu okro ne lawyer bi na ne nam lawyer ne soma no se koyesi ono so ye lawyer obu wo ho a
afen wo ye training
obu wo ho a course bi no akoye se bia OCIS ebi kura na advice keke eso so ye lawyer obu wo ho a ye sofo eso otimi ma advice keke eso so o ye immigration lawyer sa de ma wo nyina ha no ye bone po na mom ye nya hweye wo asabe yenyi untum okrum ha if you fill application kwa na wo ye lawyer a lawyer for no bebre wo ho a omo ye lawyer na so omo practice akwati so obu wo ho a wa pass driving license so one fa car no see road say na koto car me driver na say me ye cab driver no yes who kita UK license but do you drive as a public no it is an lawyer no so na tie obu wo akosu law no wa wie na so no practice ye enye nipa ho adwuma akwati so obi a wo ye oyarefo anase oye doctor obu akosua na so so mfa nko ye adwuma hospital da wonhwe yarefo unie ni experience enti e besere ye nuanu ma mutie abonten lawyer so bi di asem bi betu nanim na omode nsem bi ni na abefo mfrahema mu NS ya ma 2.5 a ye be ma wasetena febol but sabio obu wo a ye ka asem na no wono de wonya somu nya nhwehwemu bia because of yenya kase ana wate no mframam social media ni de abu but wan hwe ye ba wi ase no na wasai bedi wa ukrum ni lawyer ni a abana gina tum wa ha enti ne batakare na doso enti me hunu batakare papa enti se moti bibi sa mo me nya ntobo ase na ye mfre wo bi a abana gina tum okrum ha se okasa mafoi ade se ne yate na wososo wadwen kire ne se mo na mo ni mumra ne mo ne yaje matum se wo de wasem koma okasa mafo abaaje na tum a se bibi go wrong wan sinso so no ebeba ne so sa na bia me positive minimum kasa kakra na me baka cho se me lawyer ene ye sin sem bia ba bibi aba ye chenkrata ye mankrata ye mfa ye nka nkire obia na sabio wo so wanya akomapa anase wanya mmere no wanhwehwem na wode ho kɔhyem a na afa yagye usika di wia sebi mpɛn ko report nipa no e wagye usika wadi free but se okɔ obi a aban no agye na tum a wonim sɛ ade we sɛ meyɛ na sɛ saban no nipa ne kɔ report me a me ankasa no me certificate
ebe lusu
ko amako
ebe bomi
sabio edihu ene mara ne soso no obehu sɛ enkasa bi sa visitors application na ada ko kan ye mu pi wo hwa ye application na ye fi sɛ o adwa mansa ye ni sɛ ono no okofa no maame abakra na me ye adwuma me ye ya na ye de maame enti obi soso hɔ a ba bia excess o take yes ana no no so akoye enti na afi ne nema ni nyina no unhuru ne ti enhuru ne nai enti na tamre bi hɔ efficacy for no mo ye decision bi a enema ye bi no mo ye enti no na afi mo make wrong decision na afi ko affect ni papa no enti na ya da ko de kasa ne kopo to kasa mu yesere mu pii ma nyese bi akasa no e na sese wo sese na kasa obu be pa lawyer obu be enti me bu be se wo ni to fa bu a na nya wa fa no wase enti no enti for
Thank you very much for the clarification and the explanation. It's very, very important because we have a lot of people, especially these days, we have a lot of Gambians visiting us from to Justice and Law. We have Somalians, we have Jamaicans, we have different nationalities, you see, and sometimes we do the best that we can to cater for everyone. So, Mr. Positive, thank you very much for for bringing me back and also explaining it to our dear listeners for them to understand why perhaps I'm speaking in English today. Also, once the application is refused, what is it that you can do? You don't have automatic right of appeal. So 3 things that can be done. The first one is reapplication. You can decide to put in a fresh application. But this becomes only reasonable or sensible to do if, for example, you can address the issue that the Home Office use to refuse the application. So, for example, you have a bank account and you dumped money into the bank account and they have refused it on the basis that you dumped money into your bank account and therefore they cannot find the source of that money. In that case, you can build the bank accounts again for another 6 months or so and then put in fresh application. In this instance, personally, I am of the view that fresh application will be appropriate rather than maybe appealing or going through judicial review. I did mention appeal because some of the applications, they will give you the right of appeal. The right of appeal only kicks in where there is Home Office identify that there is a human rights implication. This is where the Home Office identify there is a human rights application. And what is human rights implication? We all know that anyone will talk about Article 8 of the European Convention of Human Rights, where there is a life, private life and family life between the applicant and the sponsor. And when we talk about family life, the person is your family member and there is a genuine relationship ongoing. So, for example, you are inviting your mother to come, the application has been refused. Your mother is your family, but is there a life between you and your mother? So, therefore, just being a relative may not be enough, but there have to be a life. When there is a life, that means something is ongoing, subsisting. And therefore, in this case, there have to be evidence of relationship. Apart from biological relationship where you have a birth certificate to basically to support that, you also need to prove that there is a family life between you and the individual concerned. However, even in this type of instances, sometimes Home Office don't give the automatic right. They will simply write to you and say that there is no human rights issues identified, and therefore, for that reason, the application has been refused with no right of appeal. When it happens like that, what do? This is where we are talking about application for judicial review. If they give you automatic right of appeal, of course, then you are lucky you can appeal without all this potential misunderstanding between the court, between the Home Office, and your legal representatives as well as yourself. Because the law is complex. Someone will say, law is interpretation of words. And therefore, one person will read it and come to different conclusion. Another person may read it and come to the other conclusion. So when there is no appeal right, in some cases, it may well be the case that you will have to consider application for judicial review. But once again, if you are not someone who is patient, if you know you don't have time to wait, judicial review is not for you. Because some people, when they want something to be done, in their minds, the whole world should stop for them, which is not the way the system is designed to do. So it is very, very important that if you know that you want something to be done quick, within a time frame, going through the court process is not for you, so don't go and do it because you'll be disappointed. Because going through the judicial review, you see, this is the rules. In order to start judicial review, you need to serve something called pre-action protocol letter. And someone will say letter before action. And in that letter before action, you need to give Home Office at least 14 days to respond. Or in some cases, you can give them up to 28 days to respond. So the pre-action protocol letter is simply a letter to tell them that the decision that you have made, as far as we are concerned, is wrong. Why is it wrong? Maybe you can argue it is wrong because they did not give you the right of appeal. Or maybe it is wrong because the Home Office did not apply the relevant law as set out under Appendix V of the immigration rules. Or the decision is not in accordance with the Home Office published policy on visitors. Or the Home Office, they have failed to take into consideration a material evidence that could have helped your case. Or they failed or they took into consideration irrelevant factors. Or there was a factual error where, for example, the person is working and they write that you are not working in Ghana and therefore we cannot determine that when you come to the UK, you will go back and therefore application refused. Whilst you have given them your pay slip, letter from your employer, and your bank statement, all evidencing that that you work, when you work, you get paid, that your employer has given you time off for the holiday or for the visit. Someone may be asking, how can this happen? They are also human beings and therefore they can make errors. Sometimes you give them a document, they may not either look at the document or they will not look at the things that you have submitted very carefully. So things that you have given to them, they could turn around to say that you have not given it to them. And I'm going to use this as an example. I've just done a case recently, and positive, the case is funny. Why is it funny? Because the person has got your name. You know, the person has got your name, exactly your name. So when the man first called me, this was last year, to book appointment, I thought it was you and you were just creating a joke. So when he came, I just watched him. I said, can I have a look at your passport? I took his passport and I saw the name. I said, wow, okay. So this man was inviting his wife and his daughter. So as usual, we went through the process. They did everything that they had to do. I did everything that I had to do. We put in the application. 2 months along the line, they called them, a decision has been made, come for the visa. So they went to collect the visa. The woman opened her passport, the visa has been granted to come to the UK to settle with your husband. Then the daughter started opening the passport from head, from the beginning to the end, about 5 times. He couldn't see any visa. So he called me and I said, well, I'm very surprised. Go back to the Movenpick, i.e. the visa application center, and ask them if there was any refusal letter. At that point, that was the point that they gave her the refusal letter. For whatever reason, they also probably thought that she's been granted. So now confusion. The mother has got it, the child hasn't got it. And then in order to be able to advise, of course, I have to look at the refusal letter, because she couldn't see the visa. She started panicking and she's asking me, lawyer, what has happened? I didn't give the visa, so I don't know. So I have to send her back to get the refusal letter. And listen to the reason for the refusal. You have applied for settlement visa to travel with your mother to join your father in the UK. However, your application was not successful because under paragraph you have not submitted tuberculosis certificate. When they give her the refusal letter, they also give her the tuberculosis certificate. The funny thing is, I wasn't the one who gave the tuberculosis certificate to the Home Office. She gave it to them when she went there to submit her application for settlement visa. So when I explained it to her, she said, no, this is not possible. I gave it to them. How can they say that I have not given them the tuberculosis certificate? And the annoying thing is, when it was refused, they give her the tuberculosis certificate back together with her passport. You see, so these are some of the things. But for me, the only thing that helped me was that I wasn't the one who gave it to them. So you can imagine what the person will be thinking. If the lawyer has given it to them, there is no way that they would have said that you did not give it to me. You see the point?
Yeah.
So all that I'm saying is this. If you submit an application and application is refused, do not put it in your mind that who should I blame. Instead, ask yourself, why is it that the application has been refused? If it has been refused, what is it that I can do to correct it? Because the ultimate is that you are looking for something. The objective, what you're trying to achieve, is what should be the number one goal. Of course, if the lawyer has done a nasty job, you have every right to go back to the lawyer for a remedy. But for me, I think the most important thing is find out why. You see, many people complain in this country about immigration and nationality, and them wasting money on lawyers, but yet their circumstances remain the same. And the secret is this: people do not look at the reasons why the application has been refused, and therefore their interest is, who should I blame? Sometimes people don't want to take any responsibility. Everything, lawyer, do it for me, without even understanding what is that they need to do in order to ensure that the lawyer does his best for them to get their visas. So it's very, very important that we educate ourselves and individuals. When this happens, the first thing is, why is the application refused? Find out the reasons why the application has been refused. And ask yourself, how do I address these problems? So that a fresh application can be made. If that is the case, by all means do that. If that is not the case, then of course, what is it that you need to do? You can then do what? You can then decide whether to appeal, go through the court process or not. So for me, it is key. It is very important. So once the application is refused, of course, if you have the right of appeal, you can appeal. If no right of appeal, then either reapplication or you need to think about judicial review. Judicial review, you have to start pre-action protocol. You have 3 months less 1 day to lodge judicial review. When I say 3 months less 1 day, it means judicial review means from the date that you receive the decision, you have 3 months less 1 day to make sure that the case is in court. So if the decision was made, for example, 29th of June 2019, and I want to start a judicial review, the last day that it must reach court will be the 28th of September 2019. So 3 months less 1 day to be safe. Now, there's a confusion as to when the clock will start ticking. When it comes to judicial review, it tells us from the date of the receipt of the decision. As you and I know, when Home Office make decisions, sometimes it sits there for about 1 month before you even get it. So by the time you get it, 1 month is already gone through no fault of your own. But for me, in order to avoid all these arguments about timetable, to be on the safe side, count the 3 months from the date of the decision. By so doing, no one can accuse you for lodging the application late. You see, I've had this issue before. A gentleman came to see me some time ago, and Mr. Atakura, thank you very much for referring this client to me. The guy was a student, and he changed his visa, or he's trying to change his visa to a tier 2 visa, work permit. He was his own lawyer, so he did his application. The application got rejected. The reasons that they gave was pathetic. So he came to see me, and I threatened the Home Office because all that we had was administrative review and judicial review, no right of appeal. So I threatened the Home Office with administrative review, and they came back to say that, okay, we will have a look again. They made the decision, and they made another mistake. So I went back again. I said, look, you guys are funny. You keep making different mistakes. Are you actually looking at the case, or you're looking for a reason to justify refusal? So they wrote, they said that, oh, I should give them time. They will look again. So second time, they still refuse it. And I said, I don't have any choice. I have to go through judicial review. I gave them self-pre-action protocol letter, and we went to judicial review. In the court offices, another funny thing, because the original decision was made some time ago, subsequent decisions were also made. So for some reason, the court wrote to say that the application has been lodged out of time, and therefore they are going to dismiss the case. Another mistake. As soon as it happened that way, oh Jesus, the client went over the roof, thinking that it's the lawyer's fault. So then he started showing a bit of attitude.
Arrogancy attitude.
I said, well, fair enough. This is what the court is saying. This is what the law is saying. And I believe someone who has completed masters, you can read. This is the law. Read it and tell me what you think. After reading it, he turned around. He said that then the court is wrong. And I said, okay, we're going back again so that we can correct them. On this occasion, the court accepted that they have miscalculated the time frame. So if I did not know what I was doing, they would have thrown out his case, and I have exposed myself to a claim for professional negligence. Yes. So these things, they are very, very serious matter. So because of that, I was able to redeem myself because I knew that the law was on my side. And therefore, in that occasion, I was able to get myself out of the situation. That aside, so it's very important. If you know that you don't have time for judicial review, it is not for you, then you have to forget it. But what I will say is this: when you are making visitors application, even though the rule is that Home Office have to decide whether there is human rights element, sometimes Home Office can get confused. The caseworker may not even understand the relationship between you and the individual. It's always advisable to point it out that this raises human rights implications. And therefore, in an unlikely event of refusal, please note that this will attract automatic right of appeal. If you put that in, I think it will help the case for the Home Office to come to the realization that they cannot simply just say that I'm refusing you without thinking about the consequences of going through the court process where you can get remedy through an appeal. So this is an advice for us all that I think could also help us. And sometimes even the threat of judicial review sometimes could also persuade the Home Office to do what? To rescind the decision and make another decision which may go in your client's favor. So it's very, very important that we consider this when we are talking about entry clearance applications. Now, let me give you a brief, the requirement for visitors visa. 1, the person must be outside the United Kingdom. You cannot be inside the UK and apply for visitor's visa. It makes no sense. Because you are a visitor means you are coming in. And therefore you must be outside the UK. 2, you have to either, because when it comes to visitor's visa, we have different categories. But if you come in as a family visitor, of course, this is what the topic is about today. You need to make sure that you have a family member that you are coming to visit. And that person is lawful in the UK. When we say lawful, the person is living here legally. The person is going to stay. The person is going to have permission to stay here. 3rd, if you are coming to stay with the person must have an accommodation. Somewhere that you can stay. The place must not become overcrowded because of your residence in the UK. Accommodation. 3rd, maintenance. Either you are feeding yourself or the person is in a position to feed you. The 4th one is the difficult one. You must have intention that after your visit, you will return back to your home country. And that one is the subjective test and the objective test. The question that the entry clearance officer will ask himself is this: based on the evidence that I have been given, am I convinced that if this person comes, the person will return? And the objective test: would a reasonable person sitting at Clapham Omnibus would expect this person to return back to his home country? And we have 2 tests to overcome. The subjective test is what you are thinking. The objective test is what a reasonable person, a reasonable decision maker would think that you would do after you have completed your visit. So much has happened. Some people come, they don't go. They have a difficult task to perform. How would they know whether someone will go or someone will not go? And therefore, sometimes they make mistakes because making this assessment is not easy. Human head, you don't know what goes on. Some people even don't know what is going through their heads. How much more would you know as an objective, as an objective person? Would you know what's going on in someone's head? So it's very, very important that when we are presenting our case, we present it in a very nice way. When I say nice, make sure that your evidence speaks for itself. If you say you are coming to visit your aunt, what shows that the person is your aunt? If someone is your aunt, then that means you are related to the person some way, somehow. So you need evidence of relationship, such as birth certificates linking you together. If you don't have it, I will employ you to probably do DNA to prove that you are related as stated. Because sometimes people don't have their birth certificates, and therefore it makes it very, very difficult to prove. Because when you don't have this type of evidence, you make it very easy for the Home Office to say that we are not giving it to you because you have not provided any evidence of relationship. That aside, if the person is in Ghana, it's very, very important that any evidence that the person can get to show that the person has got ties and family links to Ghana is very important that you present that. Maybe the person has got a wife, maybe the person has got a husband, the person has got properties in Ghana, the person has got land in Ghana, the person has got cars in Ghana, the person has got children in Ghana, the person has got his mother, father, and siblings in Ghana. These are all things that you should be talking about. Maybe the person is a choir in a church. The person is a pianist, piano, whatever. You know, the person is doing something in Ghana. The person has got his own business in Ghana. Use all this evidence as part of the evidence to show, to demonstrate that you have so much going on in your life in Ghana. There is no way that you are going to give up that life to come to this miserable cold weather in the Babylon. It's very, very important. Many times people are doing applications and they are hiding things. You see, your mother-in-law probably got a house. You want to invite your mother-in-law to come to the UK. You ask your mother-in-law, everything that you have, such as land, properties, this, that, we need to use it so that the application will be successful. Mother-in-law doesn't want you to see that he's got a house because her daughter has built a house. And therefore, they keep hiding things. You see, your lawyer is as good as he can be if you're able to feed him with the right information and right evidence. You don't say these things. after the application has been refused, all of a sudden, oh, send me who ya come the mammy down the crack. Ukununim, one can't you are hiding. And therefore, you didn't want to disclose these things. When it happens like that, I don't blame your lawyer because he's giving you the advice. You have not listened and followed what he's telling you. So it's very, very important that we understand these things and we follow the right protocols. The second area that I will talk about, this by way of an immigration update. Oh, okay, Mr. Positive. So much Positive, Obi Kasim Vichrem, Emma Mesre. Or say, Oka Adiana said the positive Vichrem, no, Pepe Peo, or you be free. And the Moshisha was sent a mambara. And your positive radio on Sempa, Eshisha was any Avada. When I church remove
positive, dear.
Obisi said was church remove. Pepe. And I call Kofi Abano, or say, imagine police positive as an immigration officer.
Say Ode and Srash and I want to suffer will be set on Madame near Fisua. A boy, and your mammy and someone. You refusua, your mouth automatic right of appeal. And you know, lawyer as someone can say. One, obey to me, I say, obey re-apply, and I say, obey
re-application.
Re-application. And I also say, obey the Obeko judicial review, and I also say, Obeko appeal. Now, lawyer, someone no canoe. Ningina no Sanya mammy and saying, I'd say, obey re-application, and I say, Obeko appeal, and I say, Obeko judicial review. No, a big Gina. What circumstance and I say be an invitation at the money panel. Be crana date at the money panel. Be on the panel or your mammy. Be a woe and they say magic annual leave. And shall see that saying, and maybe that saying, much is your home. And to say be a fan say, annual leave, and shall see ABM fan say July ending. No one submitting application, be a 1st July. Or submitting the first week of July, no, maybe all my refusal application, be a fan say. A week for a holiday, no IND. In such case, no, so what can say, oh, the court, and I say, oh, quite appeal. Entrance Tama, almost show case in the crown. Not date now, the man, Unipana, Seka, Ombra, no Machiono, na ye day, na apaho. And you know, other Sakobasa, ye application. It is already apply BM1. Then, no one ye be before for a generation. And now, so say, Obeko. Judicial review. Na say judicial review. They be wha. It is so much efficacy move for no. It be a 2 weeks notice. And I be crana. It be a 28 days. And no sign ma we nyina. Wo no necessary we dey. O hwe. And I say uwe. E kwan be fa so a. O be dey. O be come. But empempi no ka say. Ni nyina be gina wo circumstances so. Ada say. E be a one. Uni ebre. E be a wo ya application no. Wo dey na say wo pese kai. O de coin na ye dey ama no. Ya amfa manipa na. Ede na sese wo ye ebe depende kwan ko a woto nsafre nipa no and say okay say ukọ court ukoye appeal and also no it takes time sometimes appeal ne kra na bi wo ho a ya ma the right of appeal enti eno na ekwa be na abefa so ada say bi on be ka so be call administrative review and no one ye mistake on be hwehwe mu e bia on be wie no na time apa ho enti ni nyina ne be gina wo onipa no eso enti ka in say o de be call court and now say bia wo be call judicial review no na ebre no ayede abitu entineka oye no re-application na eno so etwam e na lawyer ya mfato hu bi say oye case bi ma client ba ko na client no na okofa na yere ene ne ba aba e na afi so no before na ombe refuse no ya empempi no omoma de right of appeal na e bia na akwala ewo mu anase o family task bi wo mu na ho no na na lawyer kire me say ya kase wo ni obi ewo family anase abusua ede be ade obi wo ho a otikrom ha ya mfa ne say o wa setena e bia wakọ holidays ofie okwa na okotwa na ho ena e bia one obi akọwo obi susu wo ho a oba ye enam nkrata asem wantimi ankwa afi no wanya nkrata enti no wakosra na yira na wakosra ni kunu owo busuafo owo maame e bia owo ba bi wo fie obi wo ha na dwon ye ne sika na kra no ebia enru sa threshold na obeka se bia okofa omu nyina ba entina da se bia me wo ba bia meti ene ma mentu nsa emfra mo no mo mra mehwe ha for the time being no mako enti sa ne ma we nyina no etese wo ye den wo consider ni nyina answer na wa ye den wa ye search application na lawyer asema na o kan say obi wo ho obeka so lawyer ese ada se menye reapplication nti obi wo ha ye refuse na utimo say refuse na ye de ama no utimi say odi bi ma owo ekwan ese se wo ye de ono mo twen but ebi wo ho a wate say lawyer so se meye na se be check court me che meye say dia me nsanya reapplication ni nyina be depend e wo bia ne sebio ye nyina no ye wo din ba akon ye nyina free ma meyem enso so no ye wo time ye wo obi ato ho ye nyina entafo akora no ye wo ba akon 130 ba ba 132 ba 133 international bia ne senia na setena na se na sem anase na money enti ne se wo application enkanka ne visitors ensrahwe ensrahwe no se wo to nsa fere wo bia se ye refuse wa ebi wo ha ombema the right of appeal ebi wo ha ombema omoma no right of appeal eno na lawyer e chire mu no ese ebia ya ma the right of appeal ebia na wo akola wo ebi kona onipa no yo maame ososo no maame no woni ne wo very close bond bia wo ne ni din common ye we nti sa ne ma we nyina no wotimi ye den obu a ye refisi ne maame kra wanhwe ye no collapse no wewu nti sa ne ma we nyina ne se wo demonstrating ena ni nyina soso be ya se okohunu okasamafo a enema bi wo ho a ya amomye ndwedwam ne enka no kware nkyere wo because a lawyer 40 said doctors o ton ya de na nya ho aduru to ka no kware kyere lawyer na no so be hunu kwanya wo de be fa so na afi no bibia is successful and a lawyer as somebody tried to before no was he say bia opese odin srahwe back row we mu one ade say we say and say what na kro we say mu and say bia may apply for visitors visa and say wo free kro na chi enti other say wo free Nigeria wo free Ghana Congo and say wo free kro no eye United Kingdom and say wo free achire there to so bia so no and say wo nya family member as a family visitor and as a family visit obi o ye busuani wa ha other say ukunu other say boyfriend other say girlfriend other say oh fabia won any close sanema we nyina no e family visitor and na de to so biom so no ese se wunya maintenance baby e kire se sebi mpeduasa wo ba biti wo adwuma wo je onipa na wo to nsafre onipa wo ba biti eno ntina lawyer da ko bu baby wo se wo gina asase pese so na wutimi etwe obi na wugina techemu a wuntimi ntwe obi obekoto nsafre obi mumi entie ni ye wotons obi wo ho a oti krom ho asabio oni ataba oni hwe o se o me invite o na wo na nkasa no from 5.25 I don't know what my invite obi nti sese wutimi nya ba bia odi uti beto wo ye adwuma obi susu ti krom ho a okita setena na susu ye ka kura na ya pakini ne magu base mu ya pamo no be de na wetimi ato nsafre obi nti na ho so mo de hyemu e na de etwa to a o se no de it's a dilemma situation. Chira say wonipa no oba obeko anase onko ene nipa so tirimu eti say tuo mu osum me positive me tifwe say me ti Ghana na wo wie hye me na me ho kire me na lo yadako say o positive me to nsafro me say ja me ba me ko aden o ma mi wie ya obi okra ya invite na opie free effort I say o ti do bye bye I don't know you na wa yera enti no ama saade we no so obeko so onko no yasema emu yehu na lawyer da kom ede yede ede twa so ho enti no chema me nim kasa papa ode nense mo betwa to na afie no wa bia ho atofo na to
one sham any member update kakra. Let me just come up with this update, then we can then activate the telephone lines. The first update that we will talk about is that there has been a complaint, as we all know, against the Home Office by MPs and also Immigration Law Practitioners Association, which we are part of. As we know, Home Office have a contract with a new company. It's a French company called Sopra Steria. Basically, when it comes to the fingerprint, now when you are going to do your fingerprint, you go to one of their centers to do your fingerprint. And in some cases, it's almost impossible to get an earlier date to do the fingerprint. And people are having difficulties. Because of that, there has been a lot of complaint. Most people are not able to get the times that they want. and the times that they get is too far back. If your visa is expiring, you still have to go back and book the appointment at a later date, which is not really good for a lot of people. So there is complaint that this company, people think that they are trying to block people from booking early appointment, so that they'll be forced to pay for it to book early appointment. That is what people are getting at. But if you look at in reality, it looks like it's happening in some places, which the government, some of the MPs and Immigration Law Practitioners Association has made a complaint to the Secretary of State, the government, for them to have a look at this, so that a proper investigation can be carried out, so that the system can be made to work better for everyone. That aside, the question that someone is asking, does any settlement or does any overstaying rule out settlement after 10 years long residency? Only yesterday, a case has gone before the Court of Appeal. The case name is called R into brackets Ahmed against the Secretary of State for the Home Department 2019. And basically, this is what this case is saying. Continuity of residence broken by short periods of overstaying. I'm going to read this so that we get the message. This is a man who overstayed for about 2 days on 2 different occasions when he submitted application for indefinite leave to remain on the basis of 10 years residency. Home Office refused his application. So sometimes when you hear people saying that, oh, the 10 years residency, as long as you be living here for 10 years, you can apply, it is not that simple. It comes with conditions. So this is a new case that people should bear in mind. I've given you the citation that you can also go and read. This is the case. The claimant in this case is called Mr. Ahmed. He relied on a 10-year period with gaps between 31st of May 2008 and 2nd of June 2008. That means he was late for 3 days to extend his visa. When it comes to extension, once again, 31st of May to 2nd of June, the second one also happened on 29th of December and ended on 29th of December 2016. That was 8 days late. Because of this late, he submitted an application for indefinite leave to remain on the basis of 10-year residency. The application has been refused by the Home Office. When you look at the Home Office policy, they have this discretion that they could disregard short overstaying, short period of time. So one could argue 3 days and 8 days is a short period of time. Within a period of 10 years. So this guy has broken the rules on 2 occasions, 3 days and 8 days, and therefore on that basis, the person should have been spared. Unfortunately, the person was not spared. Home Office refused the application. Subsequent appeal to the Court of Appeal has been refused as well.
Wow.
So living here for 10 years does not guarantee your right to stay in this country. People have to be aware of this. Next one I will talk about is also another career ended by sham marriage advice caught on camera. And this is a lawyer that someone went to his office. And the person told the lawyer, I'm doing a fake marriage, help me to do this so that I can succeed.
Look.
The lawyer too, I don't know what was wrong with him. Basically, from what he said and from what happened, the person recorded it and the person reported him. And as a result, he been strike off. Now let's look at what happened. The transcript includes discussions like this about a sham marriage. The lawyer gave an answer. It is possible, but depends on your own ties. The reporter said, I mean, if it's not obviously a genuine relationship, it is not. I mean, if I find someone, a girl, who is willing to arrange it with me, you will come to us and say, we are doing this marriage. These are our details. This is what the lawyer is telling the person. And the person then went on to say, that's the arrangement. We will proceed with that. So basically, the conversation that they had, the person made it clear that I'm doing a bogus marriage. And from the utterances from the lawyer, it appears that the lawyer was prepared to help them, to engage them in a fake marriage. This was a setup. The lawyer is being struck off because he did not act professionally, and therefore people should realize this. I remember someone came to me like this. The person came to me and said, oh, lawyer, I want to do a fake marriage. And I said, do you know where the door is? I said, yeah, it's behind me. I said, okay, open the door, get out and shut the door. The person could not understand. The person went and told someone that, you know, he came to my office and I walked him out. But what the person did, he did not tell the person. You see, so it's very, very important that when we do things, we do it because for the integrity of the profession and also to save our own skin. Yes, say kaseya onim penifo ni didi. So that's all that I will say about that. The next one that I will also talk about is indefinite leave to remain applications. I think we will leave that for next week because of time. Pastor Dia will soon be here to basically to start the gospel hour. So because of time, I will leave that to next week. We will talk about indefinite leave to remain, permanent residency scheme, permanent residency card, and settlement scheme visa. Permanent scheme visa, I will keep announcing it. MPs have warned that there could be another Windrush scandal. Any European national or their family members who are currently holding European visas or permanent residency visas, you have to convert it, you need to change it and get permanent scheme visa or pre-settlement scheme visa or settlement scheme visa. The reason being that, as we know, we are voted to come out of the European Union. Whether we are going to come out or not is another question. But the reality is this. Once we come out, if we come out with no deal, any right, European law will no longer be applicable in the UK.
At all.
And any visa that you have received under British law, it can put you in a in a peculiar situation, because I've talked about the Vienna Convention, Article 70 of the Vienna Convention, that says that any right that you acquire under any treaty, you maintain that right if the treaty is no longer applicable. However, some politicians are also making some utterances that if we come out without a deal, the rights of the European nationals are not guaranteed unless they have submitted application and they have been granted a visa under settlement scheme. So if you don't want any trouble, if you want to make sure that your right is guaranteed as a European national or a family member who has been granted some sort of visa under European law, I will encourage you to go and see your lawyer and do the further application to get yourself secured, because you never know, anything can happen, things can go wrong. So please do the best that you can and change your visa to either the settlement scheme visa or the pre-settlement scheme visa in order for you to have your peace of mind. Having said that, we will activate the telephone lines. We are not going to be long here because of time factor, and we will start taking some telephone calls. If you are listening and you want to call in, the number is 0203 002 8482. Please, we don't have enough time, so if you want to call, you have to call now. Don't wait for someone to call before you call, because when the phone comes so much,
we will leave.
As soon as Pastor Dua comes, we have to make a move, because a lot of people are also listening to the gospel hour, and it's unbelievable the impact that is having in people's lives. You know, sometimes people observe, people watch, and people make judgments based on what they see, based on their observations. So when you are doing something, don't think that no one is watching. You know, people really watch and people really observe things. This is a program that has been ongoing on Fire Life Radio for about 5 years now. The impact that it has made on people's life is unbelievable. And even this week there was a miracle. but I'm not going to say it until we start the program. So if you are listening, any issue about the topic that we've talked about today, any question that you want to ask about, immigration and nationality law, landlord and tenant, employment law, family law, you are free to call in. You can ask any question in this area, and we'll be obliged to answer any question that you may have. So we are waiting your call. We're waiting for you until we start the program. So if you are listening, any issue about the topic that
is 100 millions and many more. We were back like fish in a cannon shifted of Guinea shores. Yeah, they took black magic and Ashanti's golden stool. Oh yes, we worked the plantations and never get no pay. It's a full-time no, we set to the score. Yes, a full-time no, black people should know. Africa, you're not rioting. Africa, you're not rioting. Mama Africa, you're not rioting. Africa, you're not rioting. You see, a nation without any mystery is like a tree with a root. That kind of tree could never bear no fruit, Mama Africa. Before we dance abroad, we got to learn to dance a yard. Divide and rule could only tear us apart. The time has come for I and night to I night. Hakuna Matata, make we stop all the fight. Been through the struggle and washed down the drain. So much agony and so much pain. Oh, children sing,
You're not rioting.
Mama Africa, you're not rioting. Africa, you're not rioting. Africa, you're not rioting.
Yo, as a people, we want to live the peace and harmony. The wicked people.
Hello, good morning to you. Pacho Dini Senaka Sefri.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Because I feel London.
Pacho Dini saying,
I'm Pacho Media Macha.
Ama Echa London, Yanko, Anope, a
Lawyer, with me Pacho make
I'm a child break you.
Some of my back clash.
But to boss, I'm a channel casa.
Okay,
I'm a chakasa.
Yantuasia my. Okay,
Mimi Kuta 5 years.
There be I'm a champacho, but me a starte.
I'm a champacho starting my wine question.
Okay, me Pacho, Mimi Kuta, Mimi Kunu Kut Ayini, and I make a family mammy abba. It's many you see you both your documents near the Kofani by, and I'm a demi best said, then I will can. See a mammy 6 months and over. Now, Mikunu, enemy, I said, any per se a Jenny Tinemu. And Besemi who say you bet me.
Okay, 6 months in the man or no. Oh, they we invite in and say Omra Maye Ding.
Oh, okay. Before no the kind by my sister-in-law ewuye. I know buy for a year no. You sue therefore no near than buy a nini. Me van say my sister-in-law and the family ever no more than a car or than or more than buy because I'm a brother and be here help. I no more than buy into a call no or buy an assembly or some pictures SCA or some near mine to me application me the nature or buy and may not time. See I feel I'm a person or a day. Oba no so no me mano miss me kuta nkwala 3 see miss me ye ne say afi de miss me pese oba na miss me ne ebenya time ka ko buy because of a year nti no ye nya time if you afi na me ni me kunu so ye na me de me be set any telephone com just ade a che say o Ghana no me ana ni age ni so ye 65 me ana me help ni bibia nti o mo ma ni 6 ye de 2 within 3 weeks no mo sa de ma no buy to buy say me ni me kunu imagine say ke pese otena mu.
Okay.
No boy. Okay. But yet my sister-in-law in my way there.
And to me invite you as a visitor to come to the UK.
Yeah.
Okay, and the EEC law nedia. Umbetimi aginatinem. Provided ese otimoso ana mosheno.
Otimi.
And to ube evidence ese otiwoso. And to one neti. And the evidence ese one netino. A debe na abinya enti se baby a wote no se possible a ɛsɛ my landlord no ɛyɛ aware na sɛ landlord metimi atwerɛ letter sɛ wama ne permission so ɔne wo ntena hɔ no ma anaasɛ ɔyɛ aware sɛ wote hɔ ɔmo maame ne ɛne mo nete she doesn't have any objection a ayɛ ɛboa application no 2 ɛsɛ ne din etimi ɛkɔde da nneɛma bi so to tie her to that address because sɛ wode kɔ home officer 1 ɔmɛbusa sɛ ɛdeɛ na ɛkyerɛ sɛ mo ne nete because they are aware say who are other family members in this country already. And therefore you need to prove say money neti. And no kodan chain financially or you dependent on you. Mona mo man aduane di mona mo hwe no. So and you must prove say under European law no mo betimi ayede mo betimi agye natinem. And it's very important say na two way also making sure say you have the evidence. If you have the evidence, you'll be fine. First, now say prove say it doesn't apply now. First, now say prove say Tama or what Ghana no, muna na mo hwe no. But some requirements, is no longer there, and you don't have to be worried about. But I've seen decisions at Home Office are still pointing to that, which is wrong because there has been a case that has superseded that policy.
Okay.
Okay. Yanko second one on Yanko Fano. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
I do some with Yankasa 3197.
Okay. Good morning, lawyer.
Good afternoon to you.
Afternoon. Okay, Pacho, my name is partner now. We're a single parent. Kutankolami.
Hold on. Pacho, partner
and I was we say a single parent. But this is how I can say similar for. Okay. Okay, where's she? Okay.
Or you're single parent.
Okay.
You know, cram, you know, back 9 years.
Until when any or after now, what's she?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, back on 9 years, back on 7 years. 9 years near Bema, and a 7 year or bar. Now, 9 no. Only so na wajina wo a 2.5 permit. Joining the baba no, the baba 7 years nina wo 2.5 or mujina crab beman suninai. Now kumu the former a husband no, on also enya indefinite. Beba is up in 1.5 years permit. But also jina cra na so ena sa ujana years na ne wo ne 5 years no. Nti se na me mehia na me no I may take responsibility as a stepfather on Krana Brabuno. I couldn't be beating me about mamma that she may meet me now, Meniama, a diatina, because this year no say on only indefinite, and I do a moja on a papa back on a jar already. But Papa Nzumania, ne indefinite, because only the now one switch in a side or 1 9, the Omobano 1 9 years. Timena Mabana Brabo Musino, I couldn't bend a war mammy, said Archie.
Basically, say Emreni Mudia. This is what the law says. The law says if you have a parental relationship with a British national, then you can rely on that to make an application under the immigration rules appendix FM. And generally speaking, the child doesn't have to be your biological child. So, for example, you have a situation whereby, if you like, your partner's child, one is British, one is not British, and therefore they have relied on those children to get some sort of stay, 2.5 years to remain in the UK. So also to me prove, as said, you have a parental relationship with your partner's child, i.e., Obano eba penyin no kita British passport no. So also ni no relationship, i.e. oko school ko feni bigu de no kwa sorry de no kwa places, and you're able to get letters to show say you are also involved in that child's life. Aya enusubitimi aboa. You'll be any parental responsibility. And no 3 people can actually sign it. So in this case, for example, you will sign it, the child's biological father will sign it, and the child's mother will sign it. That will show that you have a parental responsibility over the child. And he said, if you're able to prove that, then of course, Home Office will consider the fact that your partner is to get 2.5 years and also to me ebo. The fact is that your partner is to have another child, also get 2.5 years and also to me ebo. But the question is this: would it be reasonable to expect all of you to relocate to Ghana? Say, if you play your role as you claim you do, and you have evidence to back it up. Now say uko good lawyer, I think say you stand in with a very good shot. We've done such application Amawobi. Now sometimes and then I have to say this because the truth sometimes it's very difficult for people to get it. Sebio and penenfosi yempe etikoni empe ayasimude. You cannot have it both ways. Won't mean for one some you know anything. Very important. Such application, say kwaye. Na say oba no ejijiji skabia. You have to realize says can be disappear. Because government ebema obi a paper emani me claim oban sika. Na won say me probi and some money metinem. It's very important. The application that I was involved, that was the similar situation. Obani is 2.5 years. Nyamiadum, now the circumstances were so bad. We fought the Home Office. They're giving her the right to claim public money. You meet another person. You want the person to get papers. Meanwhile, Oja Bensika. Jay scanning poje anasa kwati sumpo. Osi debi minyai. Ana ane be man so kwatena so a eso bo social for man eso bo cancel for man obo man eso usika ne so beti oba so si debi sika no be so beti wo a oji abensika osusu so obi oni nkrata be so oji nitirem. It's not possible. Look so it's in the end no me can dey wentie ye court am judge ne ka che ni plain esa maame your circumstances no enye possible and send na chire o ko twetwe sika ni mu. Yes, the application call your Home Office G2. How many panels can enkrata? And sometimes you have to forgo certain things in order to get certain things. That is how it is. So in your case, yes, but then again, your circumstances will determine, whether the parties involved are prepared, to fight and sing from the same hymn book in order to secure you. Patrol, they make an order here.
Matuas, so many ready say be almost me play the parental responsibility role na I feel I may share my part and chebia or say me partner ni two and more could do do say afe and I say busuminsia and send yet me after this process.
Home Office Domo can say if you are living together as unmarried partners, then in some cases they expect to say wouldn't better enough for 2 years. You have to come up with very solid evidence and put it together. This is unmarried partners. But if you are married, you don't need to wait for 2 years. You see the point? And once you are married, you don't need to wait for 2 years. Evidence be breached someone together for so long, it's not a requirement anymore. However, if you are living as unmarried partners, and not the idea. Say we have evidence not to show some matter together for 2 years. Probably you are watching, listening, thinking, hey, never that worry. Freya, you do be doing como. Now you go deep. Now after you acquire base media for so Eddie Abow.
Okay, that's
okay, I'm on for Frey now. Telephone no etitikoi. And yes, so Frey. Now, so persons are free BMA. By all means, this is your chance to call again. Pastor Dua is not yet in, and therefore we'll be able to take a few more phone calls. When he comes, we will bring the program to an end. So the number to call once again is 0203 002 8482 0203 002 8482.
Yeah, Tremor call.
Fishing a cannon shifted up Guinea shores. Yeah, they took like magic and Ashanti's golden stool. Oh yes, we work the plantations and never get no pay. It's a full time no, we set to the score. Yes, a full time now, black people should know. Africa, you know rioting. Africa, you know rioting. Mama Africa, you know rioting. Africa, you know rioting. You see, a nation without any mystery is like a tree with a root. That kind of tree could never bear no fruit, Mama Africa. Before we dance abroad, we got to learn to dance a yard. Divide and rule could only tear us apart. The time has come for I and night to I night. Hakuna Matata, make we stop all the fight.
Yes, I say yedi dwumadie no ebeba na wieye osofo enya ba bedru ono so edi Nyankopon asem no eba bebreye ene enumrei anase ene awie anase ene anopai ni nyina ene baabi a otie efrei na menim se ene asem no ebeye uja nyame asem ne de is always fire at Fire Life Radio. Don't touch the dial, don't go anywhere. Yedi Nyankopon asem eba bebremo. Ene em say amount for any too much questions. If you so abo pa anti amount for so APP. Na yedi dwumadie ne eba na wie na afi no. Yetimi idea edi Nyankopon so asem no idea abo abramo. Nyame asem no eye woja.
Oja is coming. Oja ba.
Ene yedi Nyankopon asem ne ebramo. Entina yedi Nyankopon asem ne ebramo. Ene bi bojam wo ha pa. Enti atam ne so ko ya da akwan se me free afidie so aha no mo eko. Entina mo amutie nyina yedi nyame ase yeda mo ase. Esem mo afidie ne to anam timi share program ne mambo love ones. Benim se adwuma asem nti bebre no ase se o madeda o mfi adwuma ba ana o mso betimi idea etie. Na yedamase Nyankopon enhira obi biara se ope immigration ho asem employment ho asem divorce family law employment obetimi Afri Justice and Law Solicitors ewo 0207 993 5976 Monday to Friday ye adwuma from 9:30 to 5:30 obetimi idea obetimi afreye na yetimi idea aboao your telephone number na say mobile number 07538 969 589 telephone number 07538 969 589 also obetimi idea afreye ebuku appointment no ba be hu ye na ye adwuma ama na ye fefefe na de also hwehwe no wonsa aka ye de nyame ejamu nyina ene Nyankopon enka mo ho ye da masipi. Sebeko off. Let's about the next 5 minutes. Yakopon asem ne bremu nyame asem ne eye woja wate. Ojay.
Onyame awuye nyame. Tawasam nuye ojo. Onyame awu bosure. Matisa wasam numan kwamebre. Onyame awu basasi. Tawasam nuye ojatia eja. Yantem bajime. Fisa menida wasam so. Onyame awuye nyame. Matisa wasam nuye ojo. Onyame awu bosure. Matisa